A wise man once said, "You better wrap it up before you strap it up." And he also said the same thing about magic, but in magic he used different words. He said, if you know 1,000 ways to reveal a card, then you know 1,000 different tricks. Whereas if you know 1,000 ways to control a card, you only know what? One trick, one way to reveal the card. It doesn't matter. All right. It's a terrible quote, nevertheless, but it still holds true because if you know several ways to reveal a card, well, guess what? You could do the same trick for people, and they're going to think that you've done a plethora, an amalgam, a cornucopia of tricks when really you've done the same shit over and over again, which is really what we do here when it comes to magic tricks. We're doing the same thing over and over again. We're expecting different results. You know why? Because we're psychopaths. We're introverts, and we're one stub toe away from self-defensing an entire school. But that's nor here nor there. Today I'm going to show you guys a very easy to do card trick that you could do. Use an interesting force, and it's a nice little bit of a revelation that uses stuff you could find around, assuming you're outside. You could go to a local coffee shop and do this hot trick, pick up the chicks, get the dicks, and then go to your house and be confused as to what to do with them. So this video is obviously sponsored by the Pigcake Magic Academy, where you could go to learn all you need to do to become the greatest magician you could possibly be. Over 300 videos already, 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, going over coin stuff. I say it every single episode. You know why? Because rave reviews all around. People keep saying, yo, Pigcake, you're undervaluing this. You're undercharging us. You should be charging us more for this. Just the value and the consistency and also the material presented. Oh boy, I don't understand how you do this. Well, you know what? I still do it. $5 a month, 2 videos every single week, over 300 videos already. Card stuff, coin stuff, theory, history. You got it. You got it. It's there. Oh boy. Let's get to the little performance part of this video. So the people that leave comments saying, hey, Pigcake, your intros are too long. I miss your old videos. So they get acquiesced to. So let's just do a little bit of transition meme. All I did was move the camera. So usually I would use Bin Wang playing cards, but for this force, I'm required, sorry, this free selection, I'm going to use these. I'm going to use the Chris Ramsey 7s. So for this trick, it's a very simple trick. All we're going to do is have the cards mixed and shuffled, and we're going to tell the spectator that in a moment, what's going to happen is we're going to take the cards one at a time, just like this, and we want them to call stop anytime they want as we go through the cards like this. And of course, it's a free selection. They could call stop anywhere they want. Let's say they call stop over here. I want you to notice, sir, you could have called stop on any one of these cards, but you called stop over here on this particular selection. Let's see the card you picked. Why don't you take a little bit of a peek at it? And it happens to be the 7 of diamonds. Of course, I don't know this because I'm on Valium. I'm on Comtrex. I'm on every narcotic known to man just to be able to wake up in the day and not end it all. So let's see, sir, you're thinking of a card. I want you to transmit this card to me. And let's see if we can do a little bit of an interesting experiment here using reverse osmosis. I don't know if you've ever looked at the side of a Dasani bottle, but it says purified through reverse osmosis. And you could actually do the same when it comes to human bodies. So what I want you to do is touch my left hand. And the spectator is going to touch your left hand. And you go, oh, that's the first time I felt contact in, well, however old I am. Because the last person I touched was my mom when she gave birth to me. I have a sugar packet here, sir. I have a packet of, I believe, to be a Publix brand sweetener. It's granulated sucralose-based sweetener. All right? It's ordinary granulated sucralose-based sweetener. But here's an interesting thing. Because of the reverse osmosis process, right? If I take this, it's fine enough that we could actually use it for the process of reverse osmosis. Keep thinking of your card. But I'm going to put some sugar and just put it on my hand here. I'm just going to pour some sugar on my hand here, sir, on my arm rather. This is in my hand, you retard. You adopted piece of shit. This is your arm, you stupid. What, you failed anatomy class too? You also failed how to find a father class, right? Because your father left your life. If we have the sugar in our arm and we just shake it around, look what happens, sir. Look what happens. I want you to notice that it's a card now. It's a card. It's the 7 of diamonds, if you could see that close. It's the 7 of diamonds. If you ignore the jump cut, it's a tremendous effect. But it looks like the 7 of diamonds to me. What was your card? Oh, the 7 of diamonds. That's a miracle, I would say, right? That's borderline on Jesus. If you were to ask me my honest opinion. Oh boy, now I got to pick up sugar from the floor. But you know what? If this is done at a restaurant environment, you just leave that to the help. That's not your job. That's not up to you. That's up to them. So this is a very simple trick to do. It's not really one of these tricks that requires a lot of effort. And really the only setup is all you need is some sugar packets around and some lip balm. Some lip balm. This one's a very particularly expensive brand of lip balm that I was given because apparently I've been told that licking my lips on camera is creepy and it's very rapey of me. So this is what I was given as an attempt to remediate my situation. Now this one's a little bit too balmy in the sense that in the humidity here, if you use this, it's going to be fairly difficult. So you want to use something like Burt's Bees or something like that, where the cap is thin, so that when you paint the card on your arm, that's the secret. It's going to be a nice even spread. Unfortunately, here, if you notice, the revelation looked a little bit like the 7 of clubs rather than the 7 of diamonds, and that's because of the humidity in southern Florida. The humidity is comparable to that of a mother not loving her child. So here, that's pretty much the only setup you need, and you could do this on the fly. Just turn around, excuse yourself if you're gonna perform. If you feel like the topic's gonna come up, what you could do is just turn around and excuse yourself and pretty much get into this. So all you're gonna do is smear a little bit on your finger, and all you're gonna do is draw, in this case, a very easy card to draw, which is the 7 of diamonds. If you want, you could use the 7 of clubs if that's your prerogative, but we're just simply going to draw a 7 on our arm. In this case, we're going to use the traditional Arabic version of the 7 here, which is going to involve just a little bit of a tidbit, there. You can't see it, but trust me, it's there on my arm and fairly shiny and obvious once you pour the sugar on it. So you're going to make a 7 there. And the next one is going to be, in this case, we'll do a club. Club seems to be a lot easier to put on the arm. So we're just going to draw a C on the arm here. As you can see, there's a little bit of a curvature there, right? I'm wasting this very expensive lip balm for this trick, so I hope it's going to be worth it with that AdSense money, right? Hit me with that like button if you like this sort of content. So here we're just drawing a 7 and a C. So what that does now is we're prepared for this wonderful trick. We're prepared for this wonderful trick. You have that on your arm and you're ready for a really hot and organic revelation. You guys like organic magic, right? That seems to be one of the buzzwords these days. So let's go for some organic tricks. First of all, you're going to have to force the 7 of diamonds. And I use a very effective force in the little performance section there, something that I've seen before in many beginner books, but I really haven't ever seen it linked to one person in particular. So this one requires the 7 to be second from the top of the deck. All we're going to do is simply take the top card just like this and turn it face up. You notice what's happening here at the same time, right? We're getting a break underneath that 7. You might not see it because your eyes aren't trained to see breaks this small, but trust me, there's a break. For those of you guys that are just learning magic, you're more than welcome to do the nail method. If you guys want to see a video on how to improve the pinky break, look at my previous video entitled How to Improve Your Pinky Break. So right there, you could use that if you want. But ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to need to place this card on top of this pinky broken card. You're going to then push these 2 cards together as one. Now notice that there's going to be a little bit of an edge that may or may not flash in the front here. You want to avoid showing that. And the way we do that is when we push these 2 cards forward as one, we're going to tilt the whole deck downward. So we're not aimed at them. It's not parallel to them. As a matter of fact, it's sort of in this weird perpendicular sort of situation as to avoid the spectator seeing the front edge of that card. So that's the first step. The next step is going to be taking this card and turning it face up on top of the other card. So we're just simply going to take cards from the bottom and turn it face up on top of the cards that are out jogged here. Again, simple move here. Let's just go over this one more time for the people from the, I want to say, the Orient of France. We're pushing these 2 cards forward as one. Remember, there's the force card down here. We're taking cards from the bottom here and turning them face up and putting them on top of that card that is sticking out. When the spectator calls stop, when they feel like they've had a free selection of playing card, all we need to do is take all these cards and square it up. You see what that does? Yeah, you guys are capable of figuring out what that does. It places the 7 of diamonds on top of the original card they called stop on. This is the card they called stop on. This is where you wanted them to call stop because you're in control. So at this point, you square it up and you tell the spectator you could have called stop on any one of these cards, but you called stop right here. Take a look at that card. Don't forget it. Please remember it. Don't forget it, because then it's going to be really awkward for everyone here. So you could have the spectator shuffle the deck at this point, and you're going to talk about the process of reverse osmosis, or you're going to talk about the process of gentrification in certain neighborhoods. But ultimately, you're going to take out a sugar packet, or you're going to look around and see if there's anything that's remotely sugar-like. So sugar works, coffee grounds work, cocaine works. What else works? I would say finely smashed heroin works. If you guys put heroin in a magic bullet blender, that works. But ultimately, what you're going to do is you're going to take out your sugar packet and you're going to pour it on your arm directly on top of your previous setup here. So you're going to take the sugar packet and you're going to open it up and put it on the location on your arm where you had previously used the lip balm to draw the 7 or the diamonds. In this case, I forced the 7 of diamonds. I put 7 of clubs here. Again, this is how we do things. This is a production value you get here on Pigcake. So you're going to pour it on the actual place where you put the lip balm, and you're going to notice that you're trying to get it a nice spread, even location for the sugar. The reason being is because you're hoping that the sugar adheres to the actual lip balm itself, so that when you drop your arm, what's going to happen is that the lip balm is going to stick and keep a semblance of what the card is. In this case, it's a 7 and it's a C, so you could kind of tell the spectator, I see a little bit of a 7 here. I also see what looks like to be a C. Were you thinking of the 7 of clubs? If you want, you could use a diamond. Doesn't matter. But ultimately, you're left with a very nice revelation here that they really can't explain. Now, you have a couple things working with you. Again, if this comes out a little bit smudged, if this comes out a little bit poopy because of the humidity that you happen to live in and thrive in, you could still reveal the card because you know the identity. It's a force card. So you could tell the spectator, you know, I see a 7 here. I also see what looks like to be a C. So this is really left up to your own interpretation as to how you reveal this. But a couple tips, a couple tidbits that would help you out with this trick tremendously is don't just use your finger. So get the lip balm on the tip of a pen. If you want, you could use a matchstick. Get the lip balm and draw it out that way so it's as thin as possible. That way it has less of a chance of smearing and also more of a chance of appearing when you actually pour the substance on top of it. So that's going to be up to you to figure out depending on your own performance style. Again, humidity, weather conditions plays a factor in this. You could use ashes if you want the spectator to write the card down. You burn it and you put ashes on your arm. If that suits your prerogative, if you want to be one of those dudes that pretty much excels in night game, you could definitely do that. But it's a lovely revelation of a card, and you could just wipe it off, and it's a nice little bit of a trick. You could wipe it off, and guess what? It's exfoliating. It's exfoliating because the chapstick has some nice moisturizers in there. So that's a trick. That's a trick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of a card revelation there. A classic, as to say, but some people dismiss the classics because they think they're too good. Oh man, I'm already an advanced magician. I don't need the classics. Sit down. Sit down. Bitch. So that's a trick. Thank you guys. Do the stuff that people do when it comes to videos. It helps out tremendously. I'm gonna go, we'll eat a Papa John's pizza that I got on discount because the Miami Heat won, and therefore I get 50% off. I'm gonna go do that. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's not much left, because I've been blasting and laughing for so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking.